Hello friends, welcome to episode 3 of the VonderKnits podcast. My name is Kayla and I am your host on this knitting, crocheting, and making YouTube channel. Thank you so much for choosing to join me today. If you're a new viewer, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for continuing to support me. If you would like to follow elsewhere on the internet, I can be found on Instagram as VonderKnits and on Ravelry as Kayla VonderKnit. Hooray! So it is Sunday, March 19th, 2023, and I have been up to some shenanigans. So I am ready to share all of the knitted and making things I've been up to. Hooray! I'm not wearing any knitted stuff today, unfortunately, but I am repping my UK Wildcats in the NCAA tournament. Let's go, Cats! Woo! So, I don't know if you're a basketball fan, you know what's up. And if you're not, that's okay. You are welcome here. So, let's go ahead and jump into finished objects because I have a lot to share this week. So, oops, sorry, I dropped a sock. So, we'll start with my crocheted object, which I shared last time I podcasted. This is what I'm referring to as my pet decoy blanket. I'll go ahead and show you. It's pointy here. It is a giant hexagon that I have crocheted from a magic knot ball that I had left over from various projects and whatever scraps I had left over from the other crochet blanket that I had made. I used a magic loop and I used a size I 5.25 millimeter crochet hook, and I just started knitting a hexagon. I taught myself how to knit hexagons last year when I started my other crochet hexagon blanket, and I wanted something that could be at the bottom of our bed for our pets so they could lay on this blanket, which is Knitpicks Brava worsted, which is 100% acrylic, and it would be easy to wash and take care of, and I wouldn't feel as bad with the pets like laying on it and, you know, have dogs like dig on blankets to make beds. So the acrylic yarn is perfect for that. It is all scraps and I feel really good that I'm able to use up my yarn. I have about 2 grams left and that is it. That's the only scraps of acrylic and worsted I have left, which is awesome. And the dogs love it. Our one dog in particular, she always sleeps on our bed and she loves curling up with this, and she makes a little nest out of it and she loves it. And when I was trying to decide how big to make it, I looked on a couple of different pet websites who make blankets for like crates or just for couches, and they said for a large dog you want a blanket that's 36 by 36. Once I got to 36 inches across the hexagon, I still had quite a bit of yarn left over. So I went ahead and I just continued to crochet until it was 40 inches across. And 40 inches across is about the size of what's called a lapgan if you Google crochet blanket sizes. So it's twofold. Like I can throw it on my lap and it's great and it keeps my legs warm, or the pets, you know, they like to sleep on it. So it's a pet blanket for the doggos and the cats to sleep on, but I mean, I also might steal it if they stop using it, but it's good. I believe I did 40 rounds across, like 40 rounds. And then I used a magic loop to join in the middle. And I'm finding that with my other crochet blanket, I'm having some problems with the centers coming undone from the magic loop. So I saw Kay uses this, that's Crazy Sock Lady, liquid stitch. I picked some up when I was shopping the other day at the store, and I just did a little dab in the middle of my magic circle here, and there's a teeniest little hard spot where it dried, but it has not come undone, which is good because our dog digs hard at it to make a bed. So I also did some here at the join. If you get really close, you can see the little bit, but I mean, it's held together really well. So I think what I'm gonna do is go get my other crocheted blanket and then just slowly add dots of the liquid stitch on all of the hexagons. That way I won't have to worry about them coming undone, because I've already had to go back and like re-sew in the ends after I very meticulously like looped it a couple times and then went up through the blanket. So it's worked on this blanket, and I think it'll work for that one. But yeah, that is my pet Decoy blanket. Knitpicks Brava, 100% acrylic. I've already washed it like twice for the dogs and dried it, and it gets softer with each wash. And I really like that. Okay, coffee break. I have just black coffee today in my Dunkin' Donuts mug. Fun fact, in college, my husband worked at Dunkin' Donuts during the summer, and he saved up enough money to purchase my engagement ring with his donut money. So we jokingly call it my donut engagement ring. But anyways, so second finished object are these little socks for my son. These are, I believe I showed last time, the Glorious Purpose colorway, dyed by Lindsay of FiveBoroughs Yarns. It is a Loki inspired colorway, and it is a beautiful green and browns, and oh, so nice. And I knit these on a US size 1, 2.25 millimeter magic loop. I think it's 24 inches. It's either 24 or 30 inch needle. I think it's 24, but they're from Knitpicks. They're the fixed circular. They're nickel plated needles. But these are for my son. For him, he's 3, and I cast on 48 stitches, and I do 20 rounds of ribbing, 20 rounds of leg, and then however many rows on the heel flap. I keep notes in my phone of everyone in my family and what size they need for socks, so I just follow whatever I put in there. But they are so good. He already has tried to take off with them. He wore them once, and I made him give them back to me, and he was like, Mom, you already podcasted, you don't need to share them. I'm like, well, I have to update every week. And he just, you know, he's 3, he doesn't quite understand, but but yes, the colorway is so good. I really love how rich the green is, and there's like some gold in there. And my husband has a pair that fits him, so now they have matching socks. Hooray, so good. All right, and then my last finished object. I did not share these because I did not know I would finish them so quickly, but they are another pair of socks. Let me grab a sock blocker here. These are some violet and gray shorties that I knit for myself using scraps. I believe they're Knitpicks, and I think they're Stroll. I want to say this color is Thunderhead, and that this color is Iris. And I believe it's Stroll Tonal, which is a 75-25%. 75% superwash merino, and then a 25% nylon blend. But I knit these, they're so cute. I knit these on a US size 1, 2.25 millimeter, 9-inch circular needle, the red Chiao Goose, and I cast them on because I needed something to work on at the cheer gym while the kiddos were in practice. And they picked up extra classes, so we were there extra long. And so they came out really quick, and I just didn't get to share them because I finished them so quickly. But yeah, so for my shorties, I cast on, well, for all of my socks, I knit them on 64 stitches. But for my shorties, I do, dog hair, you know, dog life. I do 8 rounds of ribbing. I take that back. I think I do 9 now. I used to do 8, but now I do 10. I do 10 rounds of ribbing, and then 10 rounds of the leg, and then I do the heel flap, and then the turn and the gusset. But yeah, I used to do just 8, and I found that was too short. And then I think I did a pair using 9 rounds of ribbing and 9 rounds on the leg, and then I still didn't quite like that. I had trouble with them slipping. And so now I do 10 ribbing and 10 on the leg, and I really like that length. It's tall enough where it doesn't fall down as easily inside my shoe, but then also I still can wear them and they don't peek out a lot in my tennis shoes, which is good because also summer is coming, spring and summer, and I like to wear my knitted socks during all times of the year. So the Shorties, I find that I can use up smaller scraps of leftover yarn and that I can still wear them during the warmer months and it's not as hot on my little feet. So hooray. Let's toss those into the finished object pile. All right, now let's get into works in progress. Now I have to come clean. A couple weeks ago I was talking about how I am mostly a monogamous knitter, whereas I have like one big project I usually keep at home, and then I'll have a smaller portable project that I can take places with me. Usually it's socks. And then I went ahead and cast on like four new projects. So I guess it's just, I just felt like casting on a lot of different things and I couldn't focus on just one thing for a longer amount of time. So I just wanted some variety. So monogamous knitter, I guess, no more for the time being. Also, I do want to say that I discussed that we were doing Stash Down 2023. So I'm getting rid of, oh, you can see my chair. This is all I have left of the stash. I'm gonna scooch out of the way. This is all I have left on this top row. I do have some magic knot cakes below. I think you can see them right there. But those are gonna go into a finger weight blanket. So I've just been saving like scraps less than 20 grams and they go into a magic knot cake. But we're doing Stash Down, so this is all I have left. So I've been very pleased with not purchasing new yarns. However, I am a member of the Yarnable yarn subscription service, which is where you can get a skein of yarn a month and then you get other goodies. I get the fingering weight option, just the one skein of fingering weight, and there are a couple different options. You can get like the fingering weight plus a contrast color. You can get, I think, a DK and possibly a contrast with that. I'm not sure. I just get the fingering weight option with the goodies, and I waited 1.5 years to get on that list, and I'm not giving that up. So there is yarn coming in, but it is because I am part of the subscription service, and I don't want to give up that because that's my thing that I do for me, and I waited a long time to get on there. So it's not completely Stash Down 2023. I'm not completely not purchasing new yarns this year, but I am not like choosing to go out to a store and purchase new stuff. It's already something that I've been a member of. So I just wanted to give you a heads up because I have some projects to show you using the Yarnable yarns from this year. So we will go ahead and get started with one of those projects. We have some tall pink socks for my daughter. They are very tall. Let me see if I can get a good look on the light, on the color here. They are nice and long. Oh, no, like, come on. There we go. There we go. That's it right there. So this is the Yarnable subscription box colorway from January of this year. Let me see. I have it in here. Oh, yep, here's the tag. And the colorway is called Party Like It's 2023. And here is the Yarnable tag. It's so cute, that little lammy. Party Like It's 2023 plush sock, which is the, oh, I didn't realize it was 85% superwash, 15% nylon. Ooh. I thought it was 80-20. It's 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. So my daughter requested some pink socks and she requested very tall socks because she started wearing fuzzy boots a lot, and the other socks I've knitted for her have been falling down into the boot. So she wanted taller socks that would stay up better. So I have knit her some very tall socks. So right here's her leg. She's 6, so she's pretty tall for her age, but these go up to her knee, her knee. So let's see. For her foot, I cast on 52 stitches, and here we have 1, 2. I did 30 rounds of ribbing and then 6 rounds of 10 stitches. So 60 rounds. I was counting my markers. I do markers every 10 rounds just to keep track. And so I can make the second sock the same. So I am about halfway done with the first sock. I am knitting these on my Knitpicks 1.25 millimeter. These are 24 inches, yeah. 1.25, what am I doing? US size 1, 2.25 millimeter needles, 24 inches. And these are the fixed circulars from Knitpicks. They're not, the joint's kind of rough, a little rough, but I do use these quite a bit. So I prefer the Chiaogus. It's got a little bit smoother join, but I like that the cord's purple. I like purple, so. But yeah. And then, yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say about these. They're pretty tall, and I anticipate, usually for her socks, I use about 40 grams of yarn, and when I've made her socks previously, she would only want 20 rounds of ribbing and then 30 rounds of the leg. That was the height she liked, but she has requested these to be taller, so I anticipate using more yarn and yardage. And then I think that once I'm done with these socks, they will go, the leftovers will go straight into the magic knot cake. But the yarn is really pretty. It's incredibly soft. It's like this really blushy pink with, let me see if I can get the color in. That's about it right there. With some darker purple speckles, some green speckles. This reminds me of, like, I call these pink champagne. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm like, these are pink champagne socks. My husband's like, all right. But yeah, it's really pretty. And this matches things that my daughter likes, like the pink with little pops of other color. My daughter loves pink. So she requested the socks, went in and grabbed this skein of yarn, and I'm like, yeah, I'll cast those on for you. So those have been getting some love, mostly at, again, practices for her and for my son. Oh, sorry, I've got these in my little food truck bag. You've seen this a couple times now. I picked this up from my local, the hair is everywhere, oh my gosh. I picked these up from my local yarn store at 614 Knit Studio by someone local who sews. I don't have a tag where I would share, sorry. All right, that was that project. And then let's get into, oh, which one do I want to share next? Let's share the sweater that I've been working on. I've been working on this for the past week or so. So this is the Red Moon sweater by Born and Raised Knits. And let me get it up here for you. Sorry, we're all twisted on the we're all twisted up on the needles. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So the Red Moon sweater by Born and Raised Knits. Oh, and it looks so good. I am knitting this using Knitpicks Stroll Glimmer, which is, I have notes, let me see. It is a 70% wool, 25% nylon, 5% stellina. So you can see the sparkle in there. And this color is Midnight Heather, and then the red is Scarlet. I do not think Knitpicks makes this yarn anymore. I purchased this, I want to say in 2017. And I purchased this with the point of knitting myself a Blood Moon sweater from the game The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That game came out in 2016 and I loved it and I played through it. My husband loved it and played through it. And then I discovered this sweater pattern and I was like, I want a Blood Moon sweater. So I am on the moons. I'm working on the moons. And I just started the point in the charts where you get to the big moons. So I have done, I think, 2 rounds of the big moons. Yeah, not very much, but the big moons are peeking through. And I have knit this pattern before. I knit it a few years ago. I just knit myself the t-shirt version. And when I did, I knit it, the neckline, I used a size 2. a size, yeah, US size 2, 2.75 millimeter needle for the neckline to kind of cinch it in. But this, I used what the pattern called for, which is a US size 4, 3.5 millimeter for the neckline. So it's nice and wide, which I like because I have wide shoulders. So I think it'll look really good. And then I'm using a size 4 for this part, and then for the color work I went up to a US size 6, which is a 4 millimeter needle. So it's hard to see because it's all like, it's kind of awkwardly bunched up there. But, and I am using my Knitpicks interchangeable nickel needles, and then I have a fixed circular sized 4 that I'm going to switch back to for the non-color work part. But yes, I've knit this pattern before, and I just did a short sleeve version, and I cinched in the neck a little bit. And then it has like color work on the bottom in the sleeves in the pattern. I'm going to omit it from this sweater because I want the main focal point to be the red moons at the top. But yeah, so I wanted to knit this in 2017, and then I did not. And then many other things got my attention. So I was looking in my yarn cabinet last week, and I was like, I need to just cast that on. I just need to do it because the new Legend of Zelda game is coming out in May. And I'm like, it's Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm like, hey, I wanted to knit a sweater for Breath of the Wild, and I didn't. I have to knit a sweater before the next game comes out. So that also was a reason that I decided to go ahead and cast it on, because I'm like, I need to do it. Like, it should not have taken me that many years to get a sweater knit. So yes, I'm excited for it. I'm excited it's finally cast on. It's going very quickly. I really enjoy knitting color work because you just want to keep knitting because you want to see the picture emerge. So it's like another round, and my husband's like, are you going to come to bed? I'm like, after one more round. And he was like, she's never gonna sleep. But it's going very quickly, and I really enjoy color work because I like how you just like, you get rewarded for each round you do. You get a part of the picture, and it's exciting. So I will keep you updated on how that progress is going, but I really love that sweater. And again, it's by Born and Raised Knits. I don't think she designs anymore, but she does have some patterns up on Ravelry last time I checked. So, okay, let's do another sock project. Oh, I didn't tell you what bag I had this in. I'm excited about this bag. Look at this! Oh, I'm a real podcaster now. My sister-in-law had this made up for me for Christmas, and I love it. I almost forgot to share it with you. I don't know who she had do it or where she got it from, but this arrived in the mail, and I was so floored. Like, oh, I spit, I'm sorry. I was so floored. I love it. The black on purple is perfect. Like, these are my colors, my favorite colors. Ah, and it's a nice big bag. Look at that. It has a zipper in it, and it fits all my yarn. I love it. And my pattern can slide in there, and a notions bag. She did such a great job. Thanks, Katie. All right. Sorry, I got excited about sharing my bag. This project, I will share the bag first so I don't forget. It's in my little Knitpicks pull up your socks, right? Department of Toasty Toes, pull your socks up bag. And it's got my snake mom button. We have a snake as well. So we have 2 dogs, 2 cats, and a snake. My house is kind of wild. My house is kind of wild, but in here are, everything I open today is tangled, I swear. Another Yarnable sock. So this is the Yarnable month of December sock, colorway sock. It's the colorway. It is, let me look and see if I have yep, I have the tag. It is Winter Mint. Winter Mint. And it is the same 85-15 split. So 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. And this is from the December box. Yes. And these socks are for my husband. Let me see if I can get an accurate. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So it's a beautiful like tealy minty color with speckles of gray and speckles of, come on, speckles of blue. But it's really good. It's very soft, and these socks are for my husband. This pattern is the Mountain Sock by, oh, I want to get the name right. Let me see. By Rachel Nutting. Rachel Nutting. And it looks like a seersucker pattern to me, and it's so pretty. But it is a free pattern on Ravelry. And it is, I think it's just the right amount of like, the speckles are in there so you can see some like a little, I don't know, contrast is the right word, but I asked my husband if it was too busy for him, and he was like, no, it looks good. So yeah, it's a pretty like seersucker pattern, and then you get like the pops of the blue and the gray in there. And again, I'm using my little stitch markers to mark every 10 rounds. For my husband's socks, I do 20 rounds on the ribbing, and then usually I do 60? No, I do 40 on the leg. But I think I'm gonna make these a little bit taller because I'm marking every 8 rounds, because that's a pattern repeat is 8 rounds. So I might make it 48 rounds instead. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, I already did 6. Okay, well, we'll see. I'll show him and then maybe have him try it on and see if he likes how tall it is. But it is really good. It's really pretty. I like the pattern. And I'm knitting these on my Chiaogu 9-inch circular US size 2 2.75 millimeter needles. For my socks and my kids' socks, I knit them on a size 1. But then for my husband's socks, I go up to a size 2 for his socks instead. And then I can still knit the same 64 stitch count as mine as well. And then I have like however many turns, and I have all the numbers memorized for a 64 stitch count sock. So I just go up in a needle size to give him a little bit more space. His foot's a little bit wider than mine is, but yeah, it's really pretty. I really like these, and these are going pretty fast too. There's just something about, when I'm doing a pattern sock, I like to do, I don't like to stop halfway through a pattern repeat. I like to finish out the pattern repeat. So that kind of makes me like do the extra 2 rows when I might need to quit. But those are going pretty fast, and he's excited about them, which he hasn't gotten socks in a while. So I brought out, right there's the November colorway, which was a cheese inspired colorway. So I grabbed that, and then I grabbed the winter mint for him. And I was like, if you would like socks, which color would you like? And then he picked the winter mint, and he was very excited about it. So, and then I didn't want to just knit him on vanilla sock, so we went ahead and went with the pattern sock, which is a good find. Again, it's the Mountain Sock by Rachel Nutting, right? Yes, the Mountain Sock by Rachel Nutting. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's really pretty. So, all right, and for my final whip, I have this. Oh, this is in a good bag too. Let me show you. This is my Lady Baba Shorn This Way bag. Isn't it so good? So this is by Art Epiphany. And I picked this up from 614 Knit Studio. And the day she posted, like, she had these bags, I went and bought the bag. Like, I needed it. In college, Born This Way came out by Lady Gaga, and I was blasting it so loud in my dorm. Like, such a good album. So anyway, when I saw the Lady Baba Shorn This Way bag, I needed it. Like, end of the day, full stop, needed it. So, and in this Lady Baba bag is my Flying Foxtail shawl by Stephen West. Oh, it is bunched up. Hang on. There we go. Much better. Oops. Oh, it's so pretty. So Flying Foxtail shawl is a brioche shawl, And this is the right side. Oh my gosh, and here's the wrong side. Look how pretty that yellow is. So it is a brioche shawl pattern by Stephen West, and you have these beautiful like big wings of brioche, just regular brioche, 2-color brioche, and then in the middle you have these beautiful like flowing, I guess flowing foxtails, but like flowing leaves. You have these giant exaggerated increases, and oh my gosh, it's so squishy and it's so pretty. I love these colors. The yarn is Knitpicks Alpaca Cloud, which is a fingering weight yarn, and the colorways are, the purple is Algernon and the yellow is Lucille, and it's 100% superfine alpaca, and it is, I don't know if you can see it, look at that fuzz. Ooh, it is so squishy, so soft. Look at the fuzz on that. Oh, it is gorgeous. And I've got some really pretty stitch markers, again from my sister-in-law. We do a Secret Santa with my husband's side of the family, and every time she gets me, she knocks it out of the park, honestly. Like, I don't know if you can see that. It's a feather and another little feather. It's moving too much, but here's a little starfish. So good. But anyway, she gave me those markers along with the bag. And then this one has like a little opal in it. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, but yes, so but yes, a big brioche shawl. I haven't made a ton of progress on this because I got distracted by the sweater, but it is coming along. I talked about the yarn. I again am using my Knitpicks nickel interchangeable needles. I've got it on a 24-inch cord right now. This is a US size 5, 3.75 millimeter, which I think is what pattern calls for. So, and I always get a bug to knit brioche like once a year, and usually it's in the fall. However, this year I was like, I'm ready for brioche already again, and it's like March, so but yeah, so it is coming along. I really love that yellow. Ooh, that yellow was good. But yeah, so there's a right and a wrong side, but both sides honestly are amazing. And I'm just slowly, you know, slowly making progress. I find brioche is really soothing to knit. I don't know if other people feel that way, let me know, but I feel like once you get in a rhythm with brioche, it's just very soothing and very calming. I feel the same way actually about spinning yarn. Like, I have a little e-spinner, and if I get going on that, I've literally been at knit nights and nearly fallen asleep because it is just so soothing to me. It feels really good. Like, it makes my brain tingle. But knitting brioche is kind of the same way for me. It's just super calming. And I feel like I have to slow down when I'm knitting it, which is actually really good for me because a lot of times I like try to knit as fast as I can. And sometimes we just have to slow down. So that is that project. And I think that's everything I'm working on. I did cast on another pair of socks, but I've literally only cast them on and knit one round. So there's not much to show you. I'll probably show them next time I podcast, just to actually show you something. There's not much to show you right now. So yeah, those are all of my finished objects, my works in progress. Yeah, I'm getting stuff done, you know? So yeah, if you were just here for yarny stuff, that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you want to just hang around and listen to what I've been up to the past couple weeks, please feel free. I'm gonna take another coffee break. Life stuff. We have been busy with cheerleading stuff and competitions and kind of the same old, you know, just driving the kids to practice. They picked up extra classes, so we were there oh man, probably 4 or 5 days for the, like, each week for the past 3 weeks, I want to say. We've just been busy. So my daughter picked up some extra classes, and my son started classes, which he was so excited for. So we've just been at the gym. They basically, we should buy stock in it at this point because we're there all the time. But yeah, that. And then last weekend we went to Great Wolf Lodge, which, if you don't know, it is a giant, like, family-centered hotel. It's lodge themed, and then inside they have an arcade, and they have like something called Magic Quest, and you get like a magical wand and you run around and you activate treasure chest and trees, and there's riddles that you solve and you get points and you can be on this leaderboard. There's also like a Build-A-Bear in there, and then they have a couple of restaurants, and then they have what is it, duck pin bowling with the little teeny pins and the balls so the kids can bowl. And then they have a giant water park that's in the hotel. My kids love it. They love it. So we went 2 weekends ago. Yeah, 2 weekends ago. My son's birthday is coming up and he wanted to go. So we surprised him with a trip to Great Wolf Lodge that's close to us before the spring break pricings got crazy. So the kids loved it. They were surprised. They had a blast. We went to the water park many hours each day. We only stayed for a couple of nights, but we did the arcade. We got them sweet treats. We went to Build-A-Bear and got them a couple of outfits for their little friends. It was fun. They had a lot of fun. They were exhausted at the end of the weekend. Like, they were so tired. But, and then we were tired too. Me and my husband were like wiped out. My daughter's a really good swimmer. And she loves, I swear she's part fish. She loves being in the water. So she was swimming in the wave pool and she was nonstop doing all of the big slides. She is fearless. She was having a blast. And then my son is not crazy about water getting in his face. And so he just wanted to hang out with me and get pushed in a tube in the lazy river. So we would do laps for an hour. Like, we would just lap the lazy river, and he would like sit on a tube and lean against me, and I would just push him in the lazy river. And about every 2 laps, I'd be like, okay, are you done? Or you want to keep going? And he'd be like, I want to keep going. So we do that for about an hour, and then we'd take a little break, and then we'd go find dad and sis, and then we'd take a break and do like the little water slides for him, and then he'd want to go back to the lazy river. So that's how we spent our weekend. And they did play at the arcade for a while, and they got some cute little arcade toys. So that was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun at Great Wolf Lodge. The kids love it. It exhausts them. We also were very tired at the end of the weekend, but you know, it makes them happy. And we also had fun too. Before, my son hated water. When we would take him before, he would scream. But this time he actually like enjoyed being wet and swimming and having fun. So, and we actually like, it was less stressful because they're a little bit older and we don't have to just like, they can actually walk around and do stuff as opposed to like me just holding my infant son. So we had fun. My husband and I were like, that was actually a really fun weekend. Like, usually it's just stressful, but my daughter can swim now, and I feel much more confident of her abilities in the water. And so it was a lot of fun just watching her swim and go down the slides and just run around. So it was good. I went and chopped my hair off. For about 2 weeks, I was like, my hair just needs to go. Like, it's too long. It was halfway down my back. I had been wanting to go cut it for a while, and the studio that I usually go to is usually booked out a month and a half in advance, or 2 months even sometimes. So I was just like randomly checking it one day, and they had an appointment for a haircut open. So I snatched it up, and then I told her just to chop it up to my chin. So I love it. I didn't do anything to it today. I washed it last night and slept on it, and it's not too crazy. So I'm obsessed with it. It feels lighter. It feels a little bit healthier. I had it dyed, not dyed, but I had highlights done last summer. and it was just, I needed a trim, and they needed, you know, shortened. So I really like it. It makes me happy, and it's so much easier to take care of, and it drives so much faster. And now it's not like I want to take the curling iron to it, I want to put the waver on it, and it's just much easier to actually do something with because it's shorter. The long hair, I find, is just really hard to like style. Like I would just, when my hair's long, I just braid it on one side and I don't do anything with it, but I'm hoping to style it more. So what I'm reading, I finished House of Sky and Breath, and I have not been able to start a new book because I'm still reeling from that ending. I love Sarah J. Maas, and her new book in the Crescent City series was just announced for January, and I already pre-ordered it, and I'm waiting very impatiently. I'm so excited. So the ending had me reeling, and I have not been able to start a new book because I'm still just like in shock about what happened in processing. So I did just pick up from the Blood and Ash series by Jennifer Armentrout. I did just pick that up yesterday. I ordered the ebooks for my Nook, so I will start that probably this week, but I just haven't had it in me yet. I just haven't. So yeah, not reading anything as of today. Probably will start a new series this week. What we are watching, we are not watching. We watch a lot of like videos on YouTube. So my husband watches a lot of tech videos, and then I will watch like knitting podcast or crocheting podcast, or I've been watching a lot of speed runs lately. So I love watching people speed run video games. And that may sound weird, but like these people are so amazing at the way they've been able to break games and at these little tricks they found. I just find it really fascinating. So I watch a lot of speedrunners. We did start the Mayfair Witches, which is on, I want to say AMC, but we watch it on YouTube TV. We started that last month, but then my husband wanted to finish up Stranger Things. So we finished up Stranger Things, and now I would like to go back and finish watching that series. I grew up reading Anne Rice books, so the Mayfair Witches is based on her Mayfair Witch Chronicle series, which I read like in middle school. So, and then I also want to watch her vampire, what is it? Is it Interview with a Vampire, that series? I think that's what it is. But I want to watch that once we're done with Mayfair Witches. So that's the plan. Yeah, what have we got coming up? My son's birthday is in a couple weeks, but we're going to be doing some different things because spring break is also coming up. And then I just bought tickets this morning to go see the Mario movie with my kids. It will be our first movie experience, and I'm so excited. Not only do I want to watch the Mario movie, but I'm excited to see how they respond to like watching a movie in theaters. So my daughter has never ever shown an interest in watching a movie in theaters. I can't get her to watch Disney movies. She says they're too scary, but she also watches things like Coraline, which I think is scary. So, and she likes Ghost Adventures and stuff like that. So she likes legit scary things, but she doesn't like watching Disney movies. I don't know. And my son has never had the attention span to like sit down and watch a movie until recently. So I'm excited for our first movie experience. I'll have to let you know how it goes. But yeah, we're just looking forward to that. And we're looking forward to spring. It's so cold, and we got snow a couple days ago. So we're looking forward to spring here in Central Ohio. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm excited to sit down and podcast with you guys again, and just thank you so much for hanging out. Again, my name is Kayla, and this has been the VonderKnits podcast. And until I see you next time, take care of yourself and take care of each other.